During this pandemic, there has been a lot of obstacles that society has had to overcome. We as a church have faced uncomfortable circumstances that have caused us to adjust in how we continue to do ministry. COVID-19 has affected our health, daily schedules, and relationships. But I'm reminded of the story of when the disciples were in the boat during the storm, and Jesus calls out to Peter to step out of the boat in faith. Yes, we are in a dangerous storm, but Jesus is calling us to step up and step out of our comfortable boats we are in.
This pandemic has opened our eyes and challenges us to stay connected with others and trust God. Yes, we have appointed roles in our local churches that we are serving in, but we continue to be inspired by God to serve our communities. We want to encourage you to follow these examples of these leaders as they have faced life-altering challenges.
Gideon, he was sensitive to the voice of God. Time and again, Gideon asked God for a sign before acting. We might think that Gideon was wrong for doing this, but the opposite is true. Gideon was sensitive to God and stood in the gap for his people against a fierce enemy. God challenged Gideon to trust him, and God was pleased with his faith and courage. If you attune to yourself to listen to God's voice today, he will give you words of correction and encouragement.
Nehemiah, rebuilding the hearts of the people. During a time when Israel was in great distress, Nehemiah grew compassion for them. He was able to meet Israel's physical needs by rebuilding the walls of the temple and their spiritual needs by returning their hearts back to God. What do you feel compassionate for? What needs do you see that you can help meet? Peter, leaders recovering from failure. If things don't go as planned, which we all know they haven't gone as planned, learn from it and move on.
And our last one is Jesus. Leaders are servants. Jesus is the prime example of how we should live our life. He acted every day under God's will to help meet the needs of the people he encountered. He stepped up each moment to do what is right, not for personal gain, but from a compassionate heart.
COVID-19 may have diminished our passion towards something. 2 Timothy 1:6 says, "For this reason I remind you to fan a flame into the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of hands." Whatever you're passionate about, go back and be passionate again. Ask God for a new fire and a new flame.
And I want to share with you this illustration. I'm a huge Dodger fan, and I love baseball. And in 1988, the World Series, where the Dodgers were facing the Oakland A's. It was the first game in the World Series, and the Dodgers were down by 1. And it was the bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. Tommy Lasorda, the coach for the Dodgers, needed a home run, needed a hit, needed something from his team. So he called up Kirk Gibson. And Kirk Gibson had not played, and he had been hurt with his back, with his legs. But he called him up and said, I need you to step up at this moment and do something great. So Kirk Gibson walks to the plate like a leaping dog, and everyone in the crowd is just tense and waiting to see what will happen. Two strikes go down, so Kirk Gibson's ready to swing the bat, and he hits the ball, and it's a home run. While there was a guy on base, the Dodgers were able to win the game and go on to win the World Series. God is calling us to step up to the plate in this moment of crisis, this moment of circumstance that we are in, to be able to do what's good, to do what's right for His kingdom. And sometimes we may be going through circumstances or something that we're struggling with, but God is calling us to kind of shake it off and step up to do what He wants us to do.
Titus 2:7-8 says, "Show yourselves in all respects to be a model of good works, and in your teaching show integrity, dignity, and a sound speech that cannot be condemned, so that an opponent may be put to shame, having nothing evil to say about us."
Do these things not for personal gain, but for the enhancement of God's kingdom. Everything that we do is to bring God the honor and the glory. God is calling you. Step up to the challenge, believe in yourself, and do what it takes. Right now is a great time to start.